What's up, Angel Baby Cakes? This is an extended. I don't know why when I do this like zoomed out view, it kind of makes the quality a little bit intense, but hey, we're gonna get into this message because I don't know how much storage I have and I don't want to waste no time. I'm gonna grab this deck. Hopefully, it doesn't cause a chain effect. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this deck. This is actually an extended from TikTok that I just did. So if you, let me not show my follow clothes right there. I'm only human. Okay. So if you haven't already seen the TikTok, go watch that first because I explained the energies. Um, so you kind of need that. So go watch that if you haven't already. Now we're gonna get into it immediately. I'm not really trying to waste too much time because I don't know how much storage I have. Honestly, I think it's time for me to invest in a camera so that these type of things are not an issue. All right, so let's talk about this first person. Spirit, can you tell me more about this connection as it is currently? Yeah. Can you tell me more about this other connection as it is currently? Okay. And then my collective as it is currently? As they are currently. Okay. Cute. And then, okay, I like this. Okay. So also let's get a clarifier with this to kind of see what potential outcomes are. I guess for the rest of this year, maybe not for the rest of the connection ever, because things can change. But maybe just for the rest of this year, what can we kind of expect here? What are like the most likely outcomes here? All right, show me this first connection. Okay, show me the second connection. Okay, show me my collective. Okay, dragonfly. I have a dragonfly tatted right here. Okay, is this upright or reverse? Okay. Is this upright or reverse confirmed? Okay, it's upright. Alrighty, so as the wolf connection stands now, it is something that is ultimately helping this sense of an awakening happen between the two of you. I feel like this person is here for you and you're here for them. It's not a connection that necessarily cares if you guys end up together in the end. It's a connection that more so cares that it's like this to me feels like a kindred spirit or like a soulmate, like somebody who is here to help you, somebody who is here that like won't betray you, someone that you can trust. They're not going to traumatize you. Like, yeah, they may be helping you grow, but not through like a traumatizing type of relationship. So if you feel like this connection has in any way been traumatizing, then this is not your message, or that, yeah, that's not your message. Because this is a healthy relationship I feel like you have with this person. Healthy does not have to equate though to it being exactly everything you want. It just means that it is healthy. It is functioning in the way that it is supposed to function. Communication could be an issue here. This connection could resonate with the last collective, the two part that I did on TikTok, not the part that goes with this, but the one that I did in this same outfit from today, from the same day, because I had gotten the B card in the reversal for that connection. So your next spicy time potentially could actually end up being with this wolf person. That may give you a clue of who this person is. Because it originally came out reverse, and that's what came out in that collective. But I flipped it twice, and it is upright. So I'm gonna reference the book again. So B is a part of the air element in this deck, and it talks about content, active, and vibrant. So the outcome of this connection, at least for this year, it's going to continue to be something that sticks around. This person isn't going anywhere. It seems like they're a part of your community, or they're meant to be a part of your community, a part of your ecosystem, a part of someone that you interact with and you connect with on some sort of regular basis over a long span of time. They're not going anywhere. Romantic or not, together or not, this is someone who's going to be in your life probably long term, or at least for the foreseeable future, for the rest of this year. I think even longer than that. Like wolf is a pretty big deal as it relates to longevity. Awakening also says that they're going to continue to wake things up in you and help you grow. So while it may not be a traumatizing connection, at some points it could be agonizing. I'm not saying it's not going to be painful. It's just not going to be traumatizing. With B here, though, this card talks about democratic is also a highlighted word for wolf and B. Just noticing that. I'm not meaning it in a political way, but like look up the definition of the word, because that could be significant as well. But yeah, it feels like this connection is going to maintain busy. It's going to be delightful. It's going to be a lot of like working together. You and this person are really compatible, I feel like. maybe even on paper, maybe like literally your astrology is compatible or something like that. This connection just works. It just flows. It's really nice, honestly, and it's in a really earthy way. Like you guys make sense in an earthy way, but you also make sense in a mental way. I'm gonna get some clarifiers with the tarot, but I really like this one. Let me see. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about where this is headed and the outcome maybe for the rest of this year for these two. Yeah, emotionally seems to be like where there could be the struggle. Like nothing can be perfect. It feels like emotions are what are being worked on though, too. Okay. I feel like you and this person are likely to care about each other really deeply. You're either gonna fall in love with each other. That's kind of what I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure because I can see this very easily falling into like a friendship archetype if you guys are unable to move past fears in order to level your connection up to something more serious. If this is someone that you end up hooking up with, it could be a friends with benefits. I'm not saying a situationship where it's like this ambiguous sometimey, they only want to see you when they want to hook up and you have like no real bond. I'm talking about like an actual friend that you could hook up with, or you could do some sort of like domestication where it's like you're in basically a relationship but you're not speaking about it or whatever the case may be because you guys are still working through fears. But it's, again, it's not in a messy uncertain way. It's in a way where you guys may still have some emotional limitations that exist on both sides, and it could slow down certain aspects of this connection. I do feel like though there's no other options. Like this does remind me of the two-part collective that I did on TikTok. So if you didn't see that one, also go watch that. I think this is that same energy. There's no one else for either of you. I think once you guys get to a certain level, it's kind of like there's a irreplaceable nature about this connection. I see you guys continuing to move forward. Emotions do develop, even if you guys don't hit a breakthrough this year. Emotionally, they do continue to deepen and develop. And when I say if you don't hit a breakthrough, it's like both of you may just have emotional limitations that are going to take longer than 5 months to work through personally. But with the star, it's like it's being worked on. So it looks good. I feel like for this other dynamic, this other person feels like something newer. It's something that's new and it has a lot of potential, but the potential may not be realized yet. This is a genuine new beginning, and I do feel like this is a beginning that could go the distance. I want to show you the card, but it has a woman and a baby, but they're naked, so I'm not going to show you. But this is someone that you could end up having the shebang with. Here I go with this word, fucking shebang. You could have the whole shebang with this person. The outcome for you guys is also an air element. So notice how in the first layer, how I labeled the connections, like when I was just picking up on the current energy. uh the first person came out earth, you came out earth, and then the middle person came out as a spirit element, which is kind of like the major arcana of this deck that I'm using. In the last layer for the outcomes for the end of this year, it's all air. So it's like there's no wrong answer, there's no right or wrong person here. I feel like you could deal with both of them if that makes sense and it's not messy, or whatever the case may be. Or I feel like you can choose one of them. Either way, there's no wrong way to go because it feels like it's all leading you in the same direction regardless. But I feel like with this other person, there's really deep potential between you and them. Let me see what this Firefly card is talking about. It's actually the card before the B. Now, B is an air element, but B gives earth energy. I do feel like if you're wondering which one of these connections could be more stable, it feels like it's this first one. Because the Firefly in this card talks about something that's really inspiring, but it's fleeting usually. Um, so I feel like this is someone who could really spark up like what's missing in this dynamic may be easily available in this one. Like this is a person who could stir you up emotionally, maybe make you feel that deep spiritual pull, that sense of idealization, romanticism, and things like that. But it may not have all of that earthiness that this first one has. So I do feel like this is a connection that could really inspire you, but it may not actually stick around that long. It could be fleeting potentially, but I'm gonna see with the tarot cards. Yeah, King of Wands, a lot of attraction. Knight of Pentacles in the reversal. Yeah, the Earth is missing here. Oof, but the King and the Queen of Wands. So here's what I'll say. I don't want to speak about this in a negative way. I just basically am like, I'm not saying this connection couldn't work with the second person. I just don't feel like it has the foundation that the first one has. So if you're here, like, who do I choose in this current moment? I would say you're probably gonna better align with this first person. But if this is something where it's like your willingness to just like not really take a leap of faith in either direction and you kind of just want to play the field with both and see how it goes and let it expand over time, you're going to need this. You're going to need to give this connection time to get where this one got. And you may even want to ask yourself, how much time, 10:10 on the clock, how much time did it take this connection to get here? You know, because it feels like the only problem with this one is that it's maybe a little bit behind. You're in the earlier phases where it's a lot about attraction, compatibility, and chemistry, but the sense of longevity and devotion maybe just isn't here yet because this is something that could be newer, but it could grow. The Empress is here, and the Emperor is at the bottom. So we have the King and the Queen of Wands. We have the Empress and the Emperor. The potential is very strong, but there's a strong emphasis on this connection only being potential right now. And for the rest of this year, it may only exist as potential because you guys need to build a foundation. Advice on this connection is I would avoid moving too quickly on the passion. If you allow this to become where you only act on the passion, it doesn't really create much motivation for you guys to do more than just be passionate because there's so much chemistry. This could be someone that you have spicy time with, and it's such good spicy time, 11:11, like a wish fulfillment, the best spicy time ever, everything that you've wanted. But it may kind of fuck up the foundation, and the ability for you guys to actually make it something more stable, like a relationship. So be careful about falling into a situationship with this person. Like I said, with this person, you may just be friends with benefits if you do decide to hook up. Like you may not immediately go into a relationship, but you're gonna have something that's damn near a relationship, not in a messy, complicated way. And don't get so caught up on my terms. I know some people are annoying as fuck, and they want to be like, "There's no difference between a friends with benefit and a situationship." Hey, this is my life, and I'm taking control of these terms and I'm making it my own. So we're listening to my definition. Do not be annoyed in my comments. Please. So yes, I feel like you guys are genuine friends. You have a genuine foundation. You genuinely care about each other. There's a genuine sense of loyalty and devotion that exists. So if you go to the next level with this person and you start hooking up or whatever the next level is, it's safe because you have a foundation. This connection feels like it's something newer and it's more just in its potential field. If you act too quickly on the passion, it may fall into a loop where it's not developing towards anything serious because you've made it too easy for each other. So if you don't want this to become something fleeting, you're going to need to slow down. I will say though, there wouldn't be any competition here either. This would just be one of those things where it could fall into like worst case scenario, it'll be like a situationship. Um, but emotions will be expressed, but there's like a delay or not in sense of urgency or even intention towards seriousness because you kind of do everything that people in relationships do, um but it's like not organized or committed. I hope you understand the difference between the two. The potential is definitely there though, but it's like, are you guys going to play out as the king and the queen of wands, which is usually something that's really magnetic but can often be fleeting if it doesn't end up leveling up to something more sustainable, or are you going to be the emperor and the empress? Choice seems to matter here. And then when it comes to you, your outcome is dragonfly. Dragonflies are about transformation. So I feel like you will be transformed by the time this year is over by both of these connections or just in general. So Dragonfly talks about seeing clearly. So if there's any sense of illusion, a lack of clarity, that cycle is going to close. Before this year is over, you will have a greater sense of what direction you want to take, whether it's either of these people, neither, both, or if it's just something about you in general and it has nothing to do with these people. Three of Cups, though, I think you're probably going to date both of these people. I think you're probably going to date both of these people. And I think you're going to kind of hold back, or I think you're going to explore both of these people and allow both to unfold. And I think you're going to kind of like hold on to yourself a little bit and not allow either of these people to stake claim over you until you're sure about what's what and what you really want and who's really going to be the best partner for you. So, give me one more. Yeah, it may be kind of hard because I feel like you're someone who naturally likes to commit, King of Pentacles, but you would be better off honoring the Queen of Cups in you, which is you, your feelings, your emotions, and what you actually want. So don't rush yourself, especially not from a place of like trying to people please or make everybody happy. Best advice, if it is possible, would be maybe to just be friends with both of these people and allow things to unfold naturally without moving to the next phase. Because I feel like when spicy time gets involved, there's a certain level of like loyalty that is unspoken, even if the connection doesn't warrant it. Especially if like these are two people that fall within the same circle or anything like that. Obviously, if these are two people who don't know each other and would be unlikely to encounter each other, then and you want to hook up with both of them, then cool. Or even too, if you're maybe someone who is knowingly in some sort of like open dynamic, I don't know. I guess there is a sense of making this ethical, regardless of what the dynamic is. Otherwise, there could be a risk of like conflict, and we want to avoid that. We want to try to make this as fair and as stable and as joyful as possible. So you are being advised to be mature emotionally and also practically, and try to be considerate of everybody's feelings, and treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't know why I'm like treat people the way you want to be treated, but I am someone who lives by that code. So yeah, maybe you need to make sure your morals are in check as you embark on these two journeys. But honestly, to me, it feels like spirit is just like, hey, these are two genuine opportunities. Don't rush yourself. Take your time and figure out what you really want and which one of these people you think feels better for you. I want to get like some sort of advice. I have this deck behind the camera. Oh, God damn it! Drop some of the cards. I'm not gonna grab them. I'm not gonna grab them. I do have on shorts, but they're kind of short, and I don't want to expose myself, so I'm not gonna grab them. Those weren't meant to come out. Spirit, can I get any advice on these connections? Upright only. Any advice from my collective on? Oop. Let's give you advice on you on you in general first. All right. So Spirit says don't take things personal, but also do okay. How can I say that? Don't take the way that either of these people are moving personal. Understand that they have their own life and their life doesn't revolve around you. Not everything they do is personal. But also in the same token, learn how to be selfish and do what's best for you personally. You know what I'm saying? Like these may be two people who are really good at prioritizing themselves, and you need to do the same thing. So don't try to rush to have some sort of conclusion or loyalty or a certain level of commitment to either of these people. I mean, you already have a certain level of commitment with the first person, but don't try to rush yourself into a box for either person just to try to people please, because they wouldn't do the same for you, because none of us should be anyways. Do know that people are talking. So like I said, if these two people know each other, or they could in some way run into each other, know each other, or whatever the case may be, do be mindful that like there may be talking, or even in general, even if they don't know each other, but there's any chance that they some way could have mutual friends or something like that. They're both talking. They both will be talking about you and stuff like that, because you are special to both of them. So be mindful that you're not being messy or getting yourself caught up. Breath work is here as well. So, take a deep breath, take up space. Breath work is really about us learning how to cultivate more space in this world. And then you have Jesus is near. Jesus! Love Jesus. Age 33 or the number 33 could be significant with that Jesus energy. So these connections could be connections, or one of them could be one that ends up falling into this like Jesus and Mary Magdalene type of archetype, which is really beautiful. I'm currently reading my Mary Magdalene book right now, so that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, let's see. What do you have to say about this first connection? I don't want to say that to you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, what about the second one? Spirit has a preference here. Within 3 months, you're gonna have clarity and you're gonna know which direction that you want to go on. But I think you should embark on both journeys. They gave me really direct like advice here, and I don't want to say it. They told me which one of these people is like the one, probably the one actually, like the one. But I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you, bro. You need to just live your life. One of these people you will realize that you're better off without, and one of these people you will realize is the person that you've been seeking. That's what I'll tell you. Spirit, I don't want to tell them this, so can you tell me something that I can tell them? There's undeniable tension between you and this first person. Like it's undeniable. And with you and the second person, there's potential, but do not romanticize the potential. Let this person pursue you. It's kind of, they're just doubling down on the advice that I gave throughout the reading. Don't fall for temptation with this connection, because it just end up being a repeated cycle. If you don't play your cards right, this second person will just end up being another kind of like maybe anxious avoidance type of archetype or situationship. Yeah. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Let me know how you like this down in the comments below. If you want to book a reading with me, I'll put the link in the description. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here. Make sure you are subscribed. It means a lot to me to have your support, especially on this platform. These videos I post currently for free. So this is me just taking my time out and giving to you guys and trying to go in depth. And so your support really matters. Like comments, likes, subscription. I do have a membership on here as well. I'm gonna do a member. Oh, this would have been a good members video, but I'm gonna do a member only video soon. So yeah.